so first show we have to talk about is My Hero Academia, or My Hero Academy, however you want to call it. And alright, so this episode we see is basically the results of the preliminary exams, and we find out who gets to become a provisional hero, who doesn't get to become a hero. And yeah, I mean, basically everyone from class 1A gets to become a provisional hero, except for the top two heroes, except for Bakuto and Togashi, or whatever his name, Fire Ice Guy Shoto. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, guys. But we find out they don't get to be heroes, and Bakuto's like really freaking pissed. He's like, "How is this possible?" It's mostly because he threatens everyone he tries to save. But I was like, I bet he doesn't become a hero. I bet he doesn't get it. Yeah, and then also the other guy doesn't get it because he basically him and the wind guy just didn't work well together. But that's not really what the episode's about. The episode really, you're seeing Bakuto and Deku. They're arguing with each other. Bakuto wants to know his power, his All Might's power, and it's just the ending of this season. I guess it's going to be the rivalry between these two characters is finally going to clash full on. And I have to say I kind of like where this season's going, and I'm really curious to watch the finale next week. I'm sad it's the finale, but everything's gotta end sometime, right? Woo! TV recap, let's go! Alright, so first show we have to talk about is My Hero Academia, or My Hero Academy, however you want to call it. And alright, so this episode we see is basically the results of the preliminary exams, and we find out who gets to become a provisional hero, who doesn't get to become a hero. And yeah, I mean, basically everyone from class 1A gets to become a provisional hero, except for the top two heroes, except for Bakuto and Togashi, or whatever his name, Fire Ice Guy Shoto. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, guys. But we find out they don't get to be heroes, and Bakuto's like really freaking pissed. He's like, "How is this possible?" It's mostly because he threatens everyone he tries to save. But I was like, I bet he doesn't become a hero. I bet he doesn't get it. Yeah, and then also the other guy doesn't get it because he basically him and the wind guy just didn't work well together. But that's not really what the episode's about. The episode really, you're seeing Bakuto and Deku. They're arguing with each other. Bakuto wants to know his power, his All Might's power, and it's just the ending of this season. I guess it's going to be the rivalry between these two characters is finally going to clash full on. And I have to say I kind of like where this season's going, and I'm really curious to watch the finale next week. I'm sad it's the finale, but everything's gotta end sometime, right? Better Call Saul, Season 4, Episode 8. So this episode of Better Call Saul, we're seeing Ken and Jimmy. They're trying to get the black guy out of being in the courts. Jimmy and Kim have this big idea to try to get him out, a little slipping Jimmy way. Other parts of the episode, we're seeing Nacho's trying to get his escape plan ready when things go south, and he's trying to get him and his dad out, but he's also trying to run the Salamanca business. I'm going to be curious to see if Tuco returns anytime this season, or maybe next season, or maybe Nacho dies at the end of the season. Also, we see Mike. He's trying to get these Germans some R&R so they can finish building the basements of the laundromat. So yeah, this was an interesting episode. I'm really curious to see how the season ends. Also, it was cool we get to see the outlet mall, which becomes Better Call Saul's home base. Yeah, this was a good episode. The Big Bang Theory Season 12, Episode 1. Alright, so this episode we're seeing events after the wedding. Basically, we're seeing Sheldon and Amy are going on their honeymoon. They decided to go to New York. And we also see Leonard and Penny. They're watching over Amy and Sheldon's apartment when Amy's parents show up, and Amy and Leonard start seeing themselves as Amy's parents. Also, Raj starts texting or calling out some shades towards Neil deGrasse Tyson. This wasn't a good episode. This episode wasn't funny, and that's a major problem with the show. Is I really liked last season. I thought a lot of the episodes really hit well. But to be honest with you, this episode was not great. I'm hoping the rest of the season is better. But this is the last season. I'm kind of glad it's ending. But I want to see a good ending. I don't want to see a How I Met Your Mother loss or another just generic sitcom ending. Let's wrap some stuff up. So, this episode was meh. Young Sheldon, Season 2, Episode 1. So this episode of Young Sheldon, we see Sheldon, he hears stuff, and he hears the thing in the refrigerator driving him nuts, so he decides to take apart the refrigerator, and his dad goes nuts, so Sheldon gets a paper route, and he gets frustrated, and he just... I like this show. I really like the first season. I'll be curious to see if this season's any better than the last season. But this episode was alright. I liked it. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about Young Sheldon. Survivor! Alright, so Survivor, David versus Goliath. Alright, so this episode of Survivor, it's a season premiere, so we're getting used to our new cast of Survivor players. I mean, there are some interesting characters in this season, but really, I mean, there's not much really I can talk about. I mean, the David tribe wins the first challenge. The second challenge, the immunity challenge, Goliath wins. And basically a medical emergency happens and a guy gets taken out. I wasn't really expecting that. That was really interesting. So I'll be curious to see what happens later on. And also that one guy, the cop, gets the immunity idol. So yeah, that was the premiere of Survivor. We'll see how it ends up the rest of the season. Big Brother 20 finale! Alright, so the season of Big Brother 20 is over with, and we have a new winner. So this season of Big Brother 20, it was, the winner, we found out the winner is going to be Casey. Casey, she wins the HOH. She takes Tyler to the finals. I'm surprised she won because when they were doing the jury, I was just like, I thought Tyler played a better game. But Casey, she played a better social game. And there is a thing where if you make final twos with every person, you're going to rub somebody wrong when you don't honor that final two. So sometimes it's better just, I don't know, I think getting to the final twos and how he played, he got all the blood on his hand, where Casey really didn't get any blood on her hands. I don't know if she deserved to win, but I don't think it's like last season when Josh was a terrible winner, should not have even won that game, and Paul really should have won that game. I don't think it's that kind of situation. I do think that Tyler played a better game, Casey, but he was an idiot for not trying to get rid of her before this end. And so it's on him more than anything. So overall, this season of Big Brother 20 was a very interesting season. I'm not going to do a review because I don't really care that much about Big Brother. But guys, that's my finale review of Big Brother 20. I hope you enjoyed me talking about it throughout all these TV recaps. And now that Survivor started, we can get back to the better reality show. Big Bang Theory, Seasons 12, Episode 2. So this episode of Big Bang Theory, you see Sheldon and Amy, they return home, and Leonard gives them a gift, and they're trying to figure out what it is, and that's basically your episode of Big Bang Theory. There wasn't really much. There was a few funny moments. Raj wants to get married to an Indian girl. We'll see if that turns out. Also, the funniest part was the stuff with Stewart and how he paints himself orange with a spray tan, and he's trying to get with the girl, and they make an Oopa Loopa jokes. He's like, yeah, we'll try to find Nemo. So it was an interesting episode, I guess. Young Sheldon, Seasons 2, Episode 2. So this episode of Young Sheldon, we see Sheldon is back in the class of the professor, and the guy who was in the Princess Bride. Inconceivable! I don't think that means what you think you're saying. And basically, this episode, there's another smart person in his class, and they basically, Mary and George, they decide to invite her parents along to have people they can relate to. And that was the episode. I really much enjoyed this episode because you see Sheldon, he's trying to do that thing he always does in the Big Bang Theory, to be like Spock, and he's like suppress emotions. And then the funny part at the end when he says, I don't know if a 10-year-old version of Spock took a chessboard and sprung it around some ground, but that's what I did. It was just a very funny episode. I like Young Sheldon. Alright, now it's time to talk about my only streaming show I'm watching at the moment, and that is the show Atlanta. I watched the first episode of season 1. It's a show I've heard that's really good, and I'm finally going to say, let's watch it after finishing all my other Netflix shows. Though I will probably have to take a break either next week or the week after because Man in the High Castle and Daredevil come back on TV. Overall, I'm interested in this first episode of Atlanta. It's basically Donald Glover. He's a manager. He's trying to become a manager of this big rap artist in Atlanta, and that's basically your episode. He's trying to get money, and I'll be curious to see where the rest of the season goes forward. The reason I'm watching this is because I really like Donald Glover as an actor, as a producer, as a writer, as a musical person. So yeah, I'll be watching more of Atlanta. So guys, that ends this episode of the TV Recap Show. Guys, if you'd like to see, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation.